The night of my graduation party, 63 people witnessed it. When his hand struck my face, the entire backyard went silent. They thought I'd cry, retreat, surrender the master bedroom as the family gift they'd planned. They didn't know I'd installed cameras, saved every document, prepared to turn the celebration into a crime scene and demolish their delusions right in front of everyone. The sound of that slap still echoes, but not as loudly as the courthouse door slamming on their entitlement. My name is Ava Carter, and I own a house. That shouldn't be a revolutionary statement. But in my family, ownership has always been negotiable, at least when it comes to what's mine. The Cape Cod sits on Maple Ridge Drive in Westerville, a quiet suburb where HOA violations make headlines and property lines are sacred. 1.5 stories of gray siding and white trim, with a master suite I designed myself during the renovation. Every contractor invoice, every permit, every insurance document bears one name, Ava Carter. Not Diane Carter, my mother. Not Roy Maddox, her husband. Certainly not Brittany, my half-sister who just earned her nursing degree. I trace my fingers along the bedroom door frame, feeling the smooth paint I chose dove white, semi-gloss. This room cost me $18,000 to renovate, paid from 5 years of meticulous savings as a forensic accountant at Pinnacle Ledger Group. The bay window overlooks the backyard where tomorrow we'll celebrate Brittany's graduation, where my mother will plant her seeds of entitlement in soil she doesn't own. Ava, honey. Mom's voice drifts from the kitchen, sweet as antifreeze. Can you come here a minute? The kitchen smells like her famous spinach dip, the one she makes when she wants something. She's arranging crackers in perfect circles, her French manicure clicking against the serving platter I bought. About tomorrow, she starts, not looking up. We have such wonderful news for Brittany. Roy lounges against my granite countertop, his bulk making my kitchen feel smaller. Construction supervisor, 6'3", hands that have never been gentle. He grins, and I catch the smell of beer at 11 in the morning. Your sister needs a good start, Mom continues, her tone shifting to that particular frequency of maternal manipulation. Nursing school wasn't cheap. And Tyler, Tyler Shaw, her fiancé, they're planning a wedding. That's nice. I keep my voice neutral, already calculating escape routes. So we thought. Mom finally meets my eyes. The master suite would be perfect for them, just temporarily. A graduation gift from the family. The word family sits in the air like a debt collector. My master suite, I clarify, though we both know exactly what she means. Don't be selfish, Ava. Roy's voice carries that edge I remember from childhood, from every time I didn't fold fast enough. Your mother and I put you through college, state school, sure, but still, time to give back. The ledger in my head runs automatically. Student loans in my name, $42,000, paid off last year, their contribution zero. Unless you count the guilt, compounded daily at an interest rate that would make loan sharks blush. The house is in my name, I say quietly. The mortgage, the insurance, everything. Mom's face crumbles into practiced disappointment. After everything we've done for you, the roof over your head growing up, the food, the clothes, the basics. She's billing me for the basics, the legal minimum required to avoid a CPS visit. I'll think about it. I lie, because tomorrow there will be 63 witnesses, and I need them all to see exactly who throws the first punch. Roy pushes off the counter, his shadow falling across the kitchen island. Don't think too long. Family decisions have already been made. They leave me standing in my own kitchen, in my own house, holding my own deed in the fireproof safe upstairs. The master bedroom door stands open down the hall, my sanctuary, my proof that I escaped them. Tomorrow, they'll try to take it. Tomorrow, they'll learn that forensic accountants don't just follow money trails. We document everything, we build cases, and sometimes we set traps. The string lights cast perfect shadows across 63 faces, All turned toward my mother like sunflowers seeking validation. 7:30 p.m. Golden hour bleeding into dusk. The smell of charcoal and burnt burger edges mixing with Brittany's vanilla perfume. My backyard has never held this many people folding chairs borrowed from 3 different neighbors. Pizza boxes stacked like cardboard monuments to suburban celebration. I count them reflexively. 63. The number will matter later, when lawyers ask about witnesses. The graduation cake sits center stage on the picnic table, Brittany's face somehow photoshopped onto frosting, her nursing school cap tilted at an angle that suggests accomplishment without effort. Tyler hovers beside her, one proprietary hand on her lower back, the other clutching a Bud Light. His friends cluster near the coolers, 5 former fraternity brothers who still wear their Greek letters like military honors. Attention, everyone! Mom's voice cuts through the country pop playlist, and someone mercifully turns down the volume. She's changed into her special occasion dress, the navy one that makes her look like a senator's wife. I have wonderful news to share. My stomach clenches. The tripod stands innocuous in the corner, red recording light steady as a pulse. I'd told them it was for Brittany's graduation memories. They didn't ask why I'd positioned it to capture the entire patio. As you all know, Mom continues, her voice honey-thick with false emotion, family means everything to us, and when family succeeds, we all succeed together. Roy materializes beside her, beer number unknown in his meaty fist. His Ohio State polo stretches across his gut, and I can smell his cologne from 10 feet away, the expensive kind that doesn't quite mask the scent of entitlement. So, tonight, Mom raises her wine glass. We're thrilled to announce that Brittany and Tyler will be starting their new life together right here. They'll be moving into Ava's beautiful master suite. The words hang in the air like a gas leak, waiting for a spark. Brittany squeals, perfectly timed, throwing her arms around Tyler's neck. Isn't it amazing Ava's giving us the master bedroom as my graduation gift? I stand. The metal chair scrapes against concrete, a sound like fingernails on reality. No, I say. Clear, simple, factual. The party noise evaporates. Someone drops a plastic cup. It bounces twice before settling. What? Mom's smile freezes. Botox perfect. I said no. I'm not giving anyone my bedroom. This is my house. Roy moves then, faster than a man his size should. 3 strides across my patio, past the gift table, past Great Aunt Helen, who gasps like she's watching cable news. You ungrateful little... His hand connects with my face at 7:43 p.m. The slap echoes off the fence, sharp as a judge's gavel. My head snaps left, and I taste copper, see stars that aren't in the Ohio sky. 63 people go silent. The sting spreads across my cheek like evidence, hot and undeniable. I don't raise my hand to touch it. Don't cry. Don't retreat. Instead, I turn my face toward the camera, knowing the red will bloom perfectly in high definition, knowing the ring on Roy's right hand, his class ring. Always his class ring has left a perfect witness mark. You don't talk back to your mother. Roy growls, but his voice wavers. He's realized what he's done. Here, in front of everyone. Tyler laughs nervously. Hey, maybe we should all just call the police, I say quietly, still looking at the camera. Then louder, to the crowd. Someone call the police. He just assaulted me. Ava, honey, no. Mom starts forward, but Cousin Marcus already has his phone out, 911 glowing on the screen. She's being dramatic, Roy announces to the crowd, but they're not looking at him anymore. They're looking at me, at the red spreading across my face like spilled wine, at the woman who won't surrender her own house. The country music still plays, absurdly cheerful. Someone, I think it's Mrs. Patterson from 2 houses down, hands me a bag of frozen peas from the cooler. I press them to my face and wait. The camera keeps recording. Brittany starts crying, but it's the wrong kind, the angry kind, the how dare you ruin my party kind. In my head, I'm already cataloging physical assault, Battery, 63 witnesses, video evidence, medical documentation needed, police report to file, protective order to request. The deed to my house sits in my safe upstairs, patient as a verdict. The first sirens wail in the distance, and Mom's face finally understands the family decision has been unmade. The U-Haul arrived at 9:15 a.m. on Tuesday while I was at work, analyzing Medicare fraud patterns for a client who actually respected boundaries. My doorbell camera caught everything Tyler backing the truck onto my lawn, leaving deep ruts in grass I'd overseeded just last month. Brittany directing him with the confidence of someone who's never read a lease, never signed a deed, never understood that possession requires permission. By the time I got home at 5:45 p.m., my master bedroom had a new lock, the brushed nickel schlag I'd installed gone. In its place, a brass monstrosity from Home Depot, still bearing the orange clearance sticker. I stood in my own hallway, holding my useless key, while Taylor Swift drifted from behind my bedroom door. My bedroom, my door, my violated space. "Oh, good, you're home." Brittany emerged, wearing my robe, the Turkish cotton one I'd bought myself after landing the Pinnacle position. "Tyler's friend is coming over to help move the rest of our stuff in. You don't mind." "Right." Behind her, I glimpsed my sanctuary transformed, their navy comforter replacing my white duvet, Tyler's gaming setup where my reading chair should be, empty beer bottles on my antique dresser, the one I'd refinished myself over 3 weekends. "Get out," I said. "Mom said you'd be difficult." Brittany rolled her eyes, 24 years old and still performing teenage indifference. "Look, it's just temporary. Once we save enough, get out." Tyler appeared, shirtless in my doorway, basketball shorts hanging low. "Yo, Ava, chill. We're family now." Family. That word again, weaponized into a skeleton key for boundaries. I didn't argue, didn't scream. I took photos. The U-Haul tracks in my lawn, the new lock's receipt they'd tossed in my kitchen trash, my belongings piled in the guest room like evacuation debris, the master bathroom counter littered with Brittany's drugstore cosmetics, my medicine cabinet reorganized, my prescriptions moved. They escalated over the next week with the confidence of colonizers. Tyler's friends became fixtures, their Wednesday night poker games spreading across my dining room, beer cans in my recycling, pizza boxes attracting ants. My utility bills, usually $70 in May, spiked to $190. The thermostat perpetually cranked to 65 degrees. Roy started showing up daily, his truck deliberately blocking my driveway. "You need to learn gratitude," he'd say, sitting on my porch swing, making it creak with his weight. "This house is too big for one person anyway." Selfish. That's what you are. After everything Diane sacrificed, I documented everything, photos time-stamped and backed up to 3 different clouds. Emails to myself creating a paper trail. Tuesday, May 14th, 6:20 p.m. Roy Maddox on my property despite repeated requests to leave. Wednesday, May 15th, 11:30 p.m. Noise complaint filed with non-emergency police regarding party in my residence. The invasion peaked on Friday night. I came home to find they'd rearranged my entire kitchen, my grandmother's china shoved into the basement, replaced with Brittany's dollar store plates. My KitchenAid mixer, a gift to myself after paying off my loans, buried behind cases of Tyler's energy drinks. "We needed more room," Brittany explained, as if theft required only explanation, not permission. I slept in the guest room on an air mattress, in my own house, listening to them christen my bed through walls that I'd insulated myself. Each rhythmic thump against my wall was another piece of evidence, another reason to stay calm, stay calculating, stay focused on the long game. Saturday morning, I found Roy in my garage, inventorying my tools. "These are too nice for a girl who doesn't use them," he said, hefting my DeWalt drill. "Tyler could actually put them to work." "Those are mine." "Nothing's really yours." "Kid. Family shares. Your mother and I decided." "You decided nothing." I kept my voice level, phone recording in my pocket. This is criminal trespassing. He laughed, the sound bouncing off concrete walls. You gonna call the cops on family? You already embarrassed us enough at that party. Whole neighborhood thinks you're unstable. Let them think it. Let them all think it while I built my case document by document, photo by photo, violation by violation. That night, I sat in my car in my own driveway, laptop balanced on my knees, uploading everything to my attorney's secure server. The master bedroom window glowed warm and golden, shadows moving behind curtains I'd chosen. Inside my house, they celebrated their conquest. Inside my car, I prepared for war. The lock on my bedroom door, that brass embarrassment, would become Exhibit A in the systematic documentation of theft, trespass, and conversion. Every unauthorized entry, every moved item, every utility spike adding pages to a filing that would turn their family decision into legal destruction. They thought they'd taken my sanctuary. They'd only given me ammunition. Elena Ward's office overlooked High Street in downtown Columbus, 15 floors up in a building that smelled like litigation and coffee. She'd traded her college idealism for property law, but her shark instincts remained pure. We'd been study partners once, suffering through constitutional law on 4 hours of sleep and gas station coffee. Now she billed at $350 an hour and worth every penny. Jesus Christ, Ava! She spread my documentation across her conference table like evidence in a murder trial. This is methodical. I'm a forensic accountant. Methodical is my religion. She lifted the printed screenshots of my doorbell camera footage, studying the timestamp from the U-Haul morning. They really changed your locks on a house you own outright. The receipt's in Exhibit 12. They used my credit card, must have gotten the number from an old statement. Elena laughed, sharp and delighted. They committed credit card fraud too. It's like Christmas. I'd organized everything into labeled folders: property documentation, assault evidence, trespass timeline, financial damages, witness statements. 63 party guests had become 63 potential affidavits. My face, bruised in high definition, graced 8 different angles from uploaded social media posts. The assault is criminal, Elena said, tapping Roy's graduation party performance. But the rest, the civil case, that's where we destroy them. Trespass, conversion, intentional infliction of emotional distress, violation of quiet enjoyment, theft by deception. Can we get them out? Oh, honey. She pulled up Ohio Revised Code on her laptop. We're not just getting them out. We're scorching earth. Emergency protective order first. Roy's assault makes that easy. Then a temporary restraining order for the property violations. Your mother admitting to the family decision in writing. She waved Mom's text messages. That's conspiracy to commit theft. I'd screenshot everything before they could delete. Mom's messages about teaching me gratitude. Roy's voicemails threatening to handle this like family. Brittany's Instagram stories touring our new master suite, geotagged at my address. Here's what we're doing, Elena said, her manicured fingers flying across her keyboard. Emergency ex parte hearing Monday morning. Judge Hoffman, if we're lucky, she has zero tolerance for domestic property violations. We file criminal charges for the assault, plus civil action for everything else. The doorbell footage alone. She shook her head. Jury pools love video evidence. What about immediate relief? You're going to stay somewhere safe this weekend. Document any further violations, but don't engage. Monday morning, we hit them with papers they won't see coming. The TRO will require immediate exclusive possession, meaning cops will escort them out. She pulled up a template on her screen. But here's the beautiful part. Ohio allows exemplary damages for intentional torts. They didn't just trespass, they did it maliciously, repeatedly, after being told no. We're asking for triple damages plus attorney's fees. I calculated quickly. The renovation was $18,000. The damaged lawn, replaced locks, utility overages, the medicine cabinet violation, plus emotional distress, loss of use, credit card fraud. Elena's smile turned predatory. We're looking at 6 figures minimum. Does Roy own anything? His truck, Some rental properties with Mom. Perfect. We'll lien everything. She started drafting the emergency motion, fingers flying. I need you to do something else. When they throw their housewarming party, and they will, these types always do you need to be there. Recording. Why would I? Because they'll double down. They always do. Right now, they think you're beaten. Let them think it. Let them perform their ownership for an audience. She looked up from her screen. How many security cameras do you have? Doorbell. Plus, I installed 3 more in common areas. All cloud backup. Ohio's one-party consent for recording in your own home. Get audio on everything. Every threat. Every admission. Every moment they claim ownership of your property. I thought about my master bedroom, my sanctuary transformed into their playground. What if Roy gets violent again? Then we add bail conditions to the criminal charges. Protective orders become permanent. He loses his supervision job. Most construction companies won't keep someone with a domestic violence conviction. Elena printed the draft motion. 43 pages of legal annihilation. Ava, I need you to understand something. We're not just taking your house back. We're taking everything they thought they could steal from you. Dignity, safety, autonomy. The law is a scalpel, and we're about to perform surgery. She slid the papers across to me. Initial here, sign there. Monday morning, we end them. I signed with my good pen. The Mont Blanc I'd bought after my first forensic audit uncovered $2 million in Medicare fraud. The weight of it felt like justice. One more thing, Elena added. That brass lock they installed. Keep the receipt. Judges find it particularly offensive when trespassers literally lock owners out of their own property. Monday couldn't come fast enough. Saturday afternoon arrived wrapped in suburban perfection, 72 degrees, cloudless Ohio sky, the smell of fresh-cut grass from neighbors who still controlled their own lawns. I parked 3 houses down, watching through my windshield as cars filled my driveway, spilled onto the street. The housewarming party Brittany had advertised on Facebook. Come celebrate our new home, my deed, my trap. I'd spent the morning at Best Buy, upgrading my audio equipment. Tiny voice recorders positioned like breadcrumbs under the porch swing, behind the kitchen microwave, magnetic beneath the metal patio table. All synced to my phone, all legal in my own property. The doorbell camera and interior security feeds streamed to my laptop, screen recording everything in duplicate. At 3:15 p.m., I walked to my own front door. What are you doing here? Brittany answered my door wearing a sundress I recognized from my closet, the yellow one with eyelet lace I'd worn to my promotion dinner. I live here. Not anymore. Tyler appeared behind her, chest puffed like a rooster defending a stolen coop. This is our housewarming. You're not welcome. Perfect. Every word recorded, every claim captured. I pushed past them my legal right, my property, and found my living room transformed into a stage for their delusion. A banner, the future Mr. and Mrs. Shaw. Gift table where my coffee station should be. 20-something guests holding red Solo cups, eating finger foods off my grandmother's china they'd excavated from the basement. Everyone. Brittany clinked a fork against her wine glass. My crystal, my wedding gift from my mentor. Before we start the tour, I want to thank my family for making this possible, especially my mom and Roy for convincing Ava to be generous. Nervous laughter rippled through the crowd. Some guests knew the truth, had been at the graduation party, seen the slap that launched this war. Roy emerged from my kitchen, beer in hand, swagger intact. Family takes care of family, he announced, even when some members need persuasion. I stood by the fireplace, phone recording in my pocket, face neutral as Switzerland. Let them talk. Let them confess. The master suite is gorgeous, Brittany continued, gesturing toward the hallway. We've already made so many improvements. Tyler installed a new lock. Better security. We're thinking about renovating the bathroom next. With what money? I asked quietly. The room stilled. Excuse me. Brittany's smile frosted over. Renovations cost money. Whose money? That's none of your business. Roy stepped forward. Size and proximity his favorite weapons. This house is a family asset now. Show me the deed transfer. We don't need papers between family. So, you're squatters. The word hung like a slap. Roy's face darkened, that pre-violence red I remembered from childhood, from every time I'd existed too loudly in his presence. You ungrateful. His hand wrapped around my upper arm, fingers digging into flesh. You're leaving. Now. I didn't pull away, didn't fight. I let him drag me through my own living room, past shocked guests, past Brittany's stammering attempts at damage control. The doorbell camera would capture him forcing me out, the bruises already forming under his grip, my calm face against his rage. At the door, he shoved me onto my own porch. You come back here. I'll call the cops. Tell them you're harassing us. Please do. I rubbed my arm, knowing the marks would photograph Purple by tomorrow. Tell them how you're living in my house without permission. We have permission. Diane gave. Diane doesn't own this house. She's your mother, and I'm the only name on the deed. Roy's face went nuclear. Behind him, Tyler tried to pull him back inside, whispering about witnesses, about cameras, about not making scenes. But Roy was past caring, testosterone and entitlement mixing into something combustible. You want to play legal? He laughed, ugly and sharp. Fine. We'll get a lawyer, claim tenant rights. You'll spend months trying to evict us, and by then, we'll have established residency. Tyler's already getting mail here. Without my permission, prove it. I smiled then, small and cold. Okay. I walked back to my car, arm throbbing, recordings uploading automatically to 3 cloud servers. Behind me, the party resumed with forced cheer, Brittany's voice bright and brittle as she offered house tours of my bedroom. In my car, I pulled up the audio feeds, every word crystal clear. Roy admitting to fraudulent tenant claims, Brittany discussing renovations to property she doesn't own, Tyler acknowledging they'd changed locks without permission. Elena texted, "How'd it go?" I sent her the best clip, Roy saying, "We don't need papers between family," followed by him physically removing me from my property. Her response came in seconds. "Judge Hoffman is going to destroy them." Through my windshield, I watched my house glow with stolen warmth, music drifting from windows I'd caulked myself last winter. They thought they'd won, thought possession was ownership, thought family meant endless taking without consequence. Monday morning would teach them otherwise. The bruises on my arm deepened by the hour. 5 fingerprints of evidence darkening like storm clouds. Evidence. Beautiful, damning evidence. The Franklin County Courthouse smelled like old paper and justice deferred. But this Monday morning, 9 sharp, courtroom 4B belonged to Judge Helen Hoffman. She'd been on the bench for 15 years, known for reading every page, watching every second of video, suffering no fools. Her gray hair pulled into a bun tight enough to cause migraines, glasses perched like weapons of mass destruction. Elena had dressed me carefully navy suit, minimal makeup except to highlight the bruising on my arm, now purple-green like an oil spill. We'd filed ex parte, meaning Roy, Diane, and Brittany had no idea this was happening until they'd be served with the results. "Your Honor," Elena began, voice pitched perfectly between outrage and professionalism. "We're seeking an emergency protective order and temporary restraining order for my client, Ava Carter, the sole legal owner of the property at 4827 Maple Ridge Drive, Westerville." Judge Hoffman opened our filing, 43 pages plus exhibits. Her eyebrows climbed as she flipped through photos the graduation party slap, frozen in high definition. The U-Haul tracks carved into my lawn, the locksmith receipt, my belongings piled in the guest room like refugee possessions. "Is this video cued to the assault?" the judge asked. "Yes, Your Honor. Timestamp 7:43 p. May 11th. The slap played on the courtroom screen. 63 witnesses visible in frame. The sound echoed off marble walls, sharper than memory. Judge Hoffman's jaw tightened, and the respondents changed the locks. Evidence Packet B, Your Honor. They used Ms. Carter's credit card without authorization. That's credit fraud? Yes, Your Honor. Criminal charges are being filed separately. The judge watched the housewarming footage next. Roy dragging me through my own living room, his hand clamped on my arm, shoving me out my door. His voice booming about family decisions and establishing residency. They claim tenant rights. Judge Hoffman's voice could have frozen bourbon. They've never paid rent, never had a lease, never received permission to occupy the property. Ms. Carter owns the home outright deed in Exhibit A. The judge studied my paperwork deed, title insurance, mortgage satisfaction letter, every I dotted in my name alone. Where is Ms. Carter staying currently? A hotel, Your Honor. She's afraid to return home. That was partially true. I was afraid of what I might do if Roy touched me again, if Brittany wore another piece of my clothing, if Tyler's friends left more beer cans in my recycling. Judge Hoffman turned to the photos of my bruised arm, 5 finger marks distinct as a signature. Ms. Ward, I'm going to... The courtroom door opened. My mother walked in, Brittany trailing behind her in what looked like panic-purchased professional wear. Your Honor. Mom's voice cracked the courtroom's stillness. I'm Diane Carter, Ava's mother. There's been a misunderstanding. Ma'am, this is an ex parte hearing. You haven't been noticed. This is a family matter. Ava's being vindictive because we asked her to share. Ma'am, sit down or I'll have you removed. Mom sat, but kept talking, the words tumbling like dice. We had an agreement, a family decision. The house is too big for one person, and Brittany just graduated. She needs Mrs. Carter. Judge Hoffman's voice could have cut glass. Are you stating on the record, in my courtroom, that you made a family decision about property you don't own? The trap snapped shut. Mom's mouth opened, closed, opened again. We're her family. We decided what was best. You conspired to take property that doesn't belong to you. It's not taking. It's sharing. Ava owes us. Owes you. The judge leaned forward. For what? For raising her college. Everything we've done. Did you pay for her college? Silence. Beautiful, damning silence. Your Honor. Elena interjected smoothly. The respondents contributed $0 to Ms. Carter's education. She has student loans in her name alone, paid off through her own employment. Judge Hoffman turned back to Mom. So you believe your daughter owes you her house because you fulfilled your legal obligation to raise the child you chose to have. Brittany stood. She's being selfish. One person doesn't need young lady. I didn't ask you anything. Sit down. The judge returned to the filing, reading Roy's voicemail transcripts aloud. You're going to learn respect. This family makes decisions together. Come home and we'll handle this like family should. Threats, she said flatly. These are threats. She signed the orders with sharp strokes. Emergency protective order granted. Temporary restraining order granted. The respondents Roy Maddox, Diane Carter, and Brittany Carter are ordered to vacate the property immediately. They are prohibited from coming within 500 feet of the property or Ms. Ava Carter. Law enforcement will supervise the removal today at 2 p.m. Mom gasped. You can't. I just did. And Mrs. Carter, your statement about family decisions regarding your daughter's property, that's admission of conspiracy to commit theft. I'm forwarding this transcript to the prosecutor's office. She looked at me, and for a moment, her severity softened a fraction. Ms. Carter, you'll have your house back by this afternoon. Any damage to the property should be documented for the civil suit I assume you'll be filing. Yes, Your Honor, I said, my voice steady as my heartbeat wasn't. Good. Court is adjourned. The gavel fell like thunder. 2 p.m. Arrived with 3 sheriff's deputies and a small audience of neighbors who'd developed a sudden interest in Monday afternoon lawn care. Brittany's Instagram Live was already streaming when the first patrol car pulled into my driveway, her phone held high like a weapon of mass documentation. "This is insane, you guys. My own sister is having me arrested because she can't share." Her voice pitched toward hysteria, perfect victim frequency. "We're being thrown out of our home," Deputy Williams, according to his nameplate, looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Ma'am, I need you to put the phone down and start packing. You have 60 minutes. Our home." Tyler emerged from my front door, my door wearing boxers and outrage. "We live here. We have rights. Not according to this court order." Williams held up the papers like a shield. "The legal owner has exclusive possession. You're trespassing." Roy's truck screeched into the driveway, barely missing the patrol car. He erupted from the cab, already yelling, "What the hell is going on? Sir, step back. This is my house." "No," I said quietly from the porch swing, my porch. My swing. "It's mine." Roy's face went nuclear red, that pre-explosion shade I'd memorized through years of dinners that ended with broken plates. "You vindictive little sir." Deputy Martinez stepped between us, hand resting on his belt. "The protective order means 500 feet. You come any closer, you're under arrest. For visiting my own family. For violating a court order. Ma'am," Martinez turned to me, "would you like to press charges for the previous assault as well?" Roy's face drained to ash. Behind him, Mom stumbled from her Camry, makeup streaked, designer purse clutched like a lifeline. "Ava, honey, please, let's discuss this like adults. We did, in court. You lost. I'm your mother. And I'm the property owner. Deputies, they're burning daylight." So, the next 53 minutes unfolded like a yard sale in reverse. Black garbage bags instead of luggage. Tyler's gaming setup tangled in hasty knots. Brittany's drugstore cosmetics swept into plastic bins. Their navy comforter dragged down my hallway like a surrender flag. The neighbors watched from strategic positions, Mrs. Patterson pretending to water already drenched petunias, the Johnsons suddenly very interested in their mailbox. Brittany kept her phone up, narrating her tragedy to her followers. "Look at this. She won't even let us pack properly. We're being treated like criminals." "Ma'am, 40 minutes remaining," Williams announced. They moved faster then, the reality settling like sediment. "Mom tried to take my KitchenAid mixer." "That's mine," I said. "I bought it for you." "No, I bought it. February 12th, 2023, Williams-Sonoma. I have the receipt." She dropped it on the counter hard enough to crack the quartz. I photographed the damage. Roy emerged with a drill. "My DeWalt. That stays. You don't even use Deputy Martinez. He's attempting to steal my tools." Roy threw the drill onto the porch boards. The battery popped out, skittering across painted wood. More documentation for the civil suit. At 2:47 p.m., Tyler carried out the last garbage bag. My master bedroom stood empty except for my furniture, their brass lock still grotesque on the door. The carpet bore stains I didn't recognize, wine maybe, or something worse. The bathroom mirror had a crack spreading like a virus from the corner. $20,000, I said to Elena, who'd arrived to witness the finale. "That's the current damage estimate. Triple damages for intentional torts," she reminded me. "Plus emotional distress, loss of use, attorney's fees." Brittany stood on my lawn with its U-Haul scars still streaming. "This is what family means to her, throwing us onto the street. We have nowhere to go." "Your apartment," I suggested. "The one you never gave up, the one Tyler's been paying rent on this entire time." Her mouth snapped shut. The followers wouldn't know about the backup plan, the safety net they'd maintained while stealing mine. "Time's up," Williams announced. "Everyone needs to leave the property now." Roy stepped toward me, stopped by Martinez's outstretched arm. "This isn't over." "Yes, it is. Come within 500 feet. You're arrested. Contact me. You're arrested. Show up at my work. You're arrested." "You're going to die alone," Mom spat, mascara making her look rabid. No family. No one who loves you. I'd rather be alone in my own house than surrounded by thieves. They left in a parade of damaged pride, Roy's truck peeling out. Mom's Camry following. Tyler's Honda last with Brittany still filming, still performing victimhood for digital strangers. The deputies waited until the street emptied, then handed me cards. Any violations? Call immediately. We have body cam footage of everything today. They left me standing in my doorway holding every key they'd surrendered. The brass lock would need replacing. The carpet needed cleaning. The walls needed repainting. But it was mine. Every damaged inch, every stained surface, every broken thing they'd left behind. I walked to my master bedroom, stood in the space they'd tried to steal. Late afternoon sun painted golden rectangles on the empty floor. The room smelled wrong Tyler's cologne. Brittany's vanilla body spray, the ghost of their occupation. I opened every window, let May air flood the space. Then I sat on my bedroom floor, in my house, and listened to the sound of my own breathing in my own space. The lock clicked when I turned my key, the new one I'd install tomorrow. Tonight. Though, I just sat in the doorway of my recovered kingdom, adding up damages in my head, calculating what justice costs in dollars and cents. The restraining order was just paper. The real victory was this silence, no family deciding my fate, no footsteps that weren't mine, no voices claiming what was never theirs to take. I closed my eyes and smiled. The house was mine. The revenge, complete. The silence settled like dust after demolition. I stood in my kitchen at 9:20 p.m., cataloging damages with the precision of someone who'd spent 5 years turning numbers into narratives. The crack in the quartz countertop where Mom had slammed my mixer, $800. The wine stains on the master bedroom carpet, $1,200 for professional cleaning, maybe $3,000 to replace. The broken bathroom mirror, the scratched hardwood, the holes in the drywall where Tyler had mounted his monitors without anchors. I opened my laptop on the dining table they'd scarred with hot plates and water rings. The civil complaint wrote itself trespass to chattels. The DeWalt drill. Roy tried to steal. My grandmother's china they'd used without permission. My clothing Brittany had worn. Conversion. The master bedroom they'd claimed, changing locks with my stolen credit card information. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. The public humiliation. The forced evacuation from my own property. The campaign to make me homeless in my own home. Battery Roy's slap at the graduation party. The bruises from the housewarming eviction. Fraud, using my credit card for the locks. Claiming tenant rights they never possessed. Trespass. Every moment they'd remained after being told to leave. The numbers added themselves: 18,000 in renovations damaged, 3,200 in cleaning and repairs, 600 in utility overages, 450 for the locksmith, 8,000 for emotional distress, conservative for someone forced to live in a hotel while squatters occupied her home. Triple damages under Ohio law for intentional torts. Attorney's fees at $350 an hour. Total $93,600. I attached every receipt, every photo, every second of video. The graduation slap played on loop as I worked. Roy's hand connecting with my face in high definition. 63 witnesses frozen in shock. The court transcript where Mom admitted to the family decision to steal my home. Brittany's Instagram Live, archived before she could delete it, narrating her eviction from our house. Elena would file it tomorrow. Liens would attach to Roy's truck, Mom's car, their rental properties. Bank accounts would freeze. Wages would garnish. But tonight, in the empty aftermath, I walked through my recovered kingdom with a glass of wine, the good bottle I'd hidden in the basement behind paint cans. Each room told its brief occupation story: the guest room where they'd piled my life like garbage, the kitchen they'd reorganized to suit their preferences, the living room where they'd hosted their delusional housewarming. I stopped at the master bedroom door, that brass monstrosity still mocking me. Tomorrow, a locksmith would install something bulletproof, keypad entry, mine alone. Tonight. I grabbed my tools from the garage, and removed their lock myself. The screws came out one by one, each turn erasing their claim. The original Schlager went back on, brushed nickel gleaming under hallway light. My key turned smooth as truth. Inside. I opened every window despite the dropping temperature. May night air swept through, carrying away vanilla body spray and cheap cologne. The smell of strangers who'd thought blood meant ownership. I'd sleep in here tonight, on an air mattress if necessary. The principle mattered more than comfort. My phone buzzed Brittany's number. "You destroyed our lives. Happy now." I didn't respond. There was nothing to say that lawyers wouldn't say better. Another text from Mom. "You're not my daughter anymore." I screenshot it for the harassment file, then blocked the number. Roy's voicemail came through before I could block him too. "Your fancy court orders won't protect you forever. Family handles family business." I forwarded it to Deputy Martinez and Elena simultaneously. Violation of the protective order, possible arrest warrant by morning. 10:45 p.m. I stood in my bedroom, my house, my deed, my name on every surface that mattered. Tomorrow would bring contractors and cleaning crews, new locks and security systems. The civil suit would wind through courts, extracting justice in dollars. Criminal charges would process Roy through systems that didn't care about family decisions. But tonight, I sat on my bedroom floor, back against the wall I'd painted myself, and felt the beautiful weight of ownership. Not just of property, of boundaries, of the right to say no, of the power to enforce it. The string lights in the backyard still twinkled from Brittany's graduation party, that night when Roy's hand had started this war. I watched them through my bay window, these tiny lights marking the battlefield where I'd refused to surrender. I pulled down one string, then another, coiling them like conquered flags. The backyard returned to darkness, mine alone. In the morning, there would be paperwork and phone calls, insurance claims and contractor estimates. The civil suit would proceed with mechanical precision, extracting compensation for every violation. Roy might face jail time for the assault, the protective order violation, the threats. Mom and Brittany would learn that family isn't a skeleton key to other people's lives. But tonight, in the perfect silence of my recovered home, I closed my eyes and listened to nothing, no footsteps above, no voices claiming my space, no television blaring from my bedroom, just silence. Beautiful, expensive, legally enforced silence. I opened my laptop one more time and typed a final invoice. Cost of teaching family that no means no priceless. Cost of their education, $93,600. Having it all on video evidence. The cursor blinked on the empty page below, waiting for more. But there was nothing more to write. The house was mine. The revenge, complete. The family that had tried to steal my home had lost everything instead. I saved the document, backed it up to 3 clouds, and closed the laptop. In my house, in my bedroom, in my silence, I finally slept. The deed never lies. Neither do courtroom victories. Thank you for listening to my story. I'd love to know where you're listening from. Drop a comment and let's connect. If this story resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts below. Have you ever had to stand up to family who crossed the line? I'd love to hear your experiences.